Hello everyone, I'm Mayank Agarwal and welcome to the Quality Excellence channel. Today we're going to cover 3 essential Lean Six Sigma metrics: DPMO, DPU, and FTY. These are critical for measuring process performance and identifying opportunities for improvement. Hey there, quality enthusiasts! Today we're diving headfirst into the world of Lean Six Sigma metrics. Now, I know these acronyms might sound like alphabet soup, but trust me, they're the secret sauce to measuring and improving your processes. So grab your notepads and let's get started. Let's kick things off with DPMO, or Defects Per Million Opportunities. Now you might be thinking, a million opportunities? That's a lot. But DPMO is all about scaling up our defect measurements to get a clear picture of quality over a large number of units. It's like looking at your process through a magnifying glass. But instead of making things bigger, we're zooming out. So, what exactly is DPMO measuring? It's telling us how many defects we can expect if we had a million chances for defects to occur. It's a way of standardizing our quality measurements, making it easier to compare different processes or products. And let me tell you, in the world of quality control, being able to make those comparisons is pure gold. Now that we know what DPMO is, let's roll up our sleeves and learn how to calculate it. The formula might look a bit intimidating at first, but don't worry, we'll break it down. Here it is. DPMO equals total defects divided by units times opportunities per unit, all multiplied by 1 million. That's a mouthful, right? But let's walk through it step by step. Let's say we have 10 defects in 1,000 units, and each unit has 3 opportunities for defects. Plugging these numbers into our formula, we get 10 divided by 1,000 times 3 multiplied by 1 million equals 3,333.33. So our DPMO is 3,333.33. But what does this mean? The lower the DPMO, the better the quality. If we got this number down to 1,000, that would mean we've made a significant improvement. It's all about striving for that lower number. Alright, let's move on to our next metric. DPU, or Defects Per Unit. Now, if DPMO felt like looking at your process from a satellite, DPU is like examining each individual unit under a microscope. It's a more focused measure that tells us, on average, how many defects we're finding in each unit we produce. Simple, right? But don't let that simplicity fool you. DPU packs a powerful punch when it comes to understanding your process quality. The beauty of DPU is its straightforward nature. It doesn't care about opportunities or scaling to a million units. It's just asking one simple question: on average, how many defects are we seeing per unit? This makes DPU an incredibly useful tool for quickly assessing the overall health of your process. I like to think of it as taking the temperature of your quality control. A quick check that can tell you a lot about what's going on. Now, let's get our hands dirty with some DPU calculations. The formula for DPU is refreshingly simple. DPU equals total defects divided by total units. See? No million multiplier, no opportunities to worry about, just defects divided by units. Let's work through an example to see how this plays out in practice. Imagine we've produced 500 units and found 20 defects across all of them. Plugging these numbers into our formula, we get DPU equals 20 divided by 500 equals 0.04. This means on average, we're seeing 0.04 defects per unit. Now you might be thinking, how can we have a fraction of a defect? Well, we can't in reality, but this average gives us a clear idea of our defect rate, and just like with DPMO, lower is better. Alright, we've covered defects. Now let's flip the script and talk about successes with our final metric: first time yield, or FTY. If DPMO and DPU are all about what's going wrong, FTY is all about what's going right. Specifically, it's measuring the percentage of units that we produce correctly the first time around, without any need for rework. It's like asking, how often are we nailing it on the first try? FTY is a fantastic measure of process efficiency. Think about it. Every time we have to rework a unit, we're using extra time, materials, and energy. By tracking FTY, we're not just measuring quality, we're getting a peek at how smoothly our entire process is running. It's like having a window into the overall health of our production line. And let me tell you, that kind of insight is invaluable. Let's crunch some numbers and see how FTY works in practice. The formula for FTY is straightforward. FTY equals good units output divided by total units input. Now, good units here means units that didn't need any rework. They were right the first time. Let's look at an example to make this crystal clear. Say we input 1,000 units into our process, and 950 of them come out perfect on the first try. Plugging this into our formula, we get FTY equals 950 divided by 1000 equals 0.95, or 95%. This means 95% of our units are coming out right the first time. Not bad. But remember, with FTY, higher is better. If we can push this closer to 100%, we're looking at a seriously efficient process. It's all about maximizing that first-time success. Now that we've got all three metrics under our belt, let's take a step back and look at how they work together. DPMO, DPU, and FTY are like three different lenses for viewing your process quality. Each one gives you a unique perspective, and together they provide a comprehensive picture of what's going on in your production line. Think of it this way. DPMO is your wide-angle lens, giving you a broad view of defect rates scaled up to 1 million opportunities. DPU zooms in, focusing on the average defects per individual unit. And FTY flips the script, showing you how often you're getting things right on the first try. By using all three, you're getting a 360-degree view of your process quality. That kind of comprehensive understanding is priceless. All right, so we know what these metrics are and how to calculate them. But how do we actually put them into practice? Well, I've got a simple 5-step plan for you. First, define your unit and defect criteria. This means getting crystal clear on what counts as a unit in your process and what qualifies as a defect. Second, collect your production and defect data. This is where the rubber meets the road. You need accurate data to get meaningful metrics. Third, it's calculation time. Use the formulas we've learned to compute your DPMO, DPU, and FTY. Fourth, visualize and interpret your metrics. Don't just let those numbers sit there. Graph them, chart them, make them tell a story, and finally, plan your improvement actions. Use the insights you've gained to make targeted improvements in your process. Remember, measuring is just the first step. The real magic happens when you use these metrics to drive continuous improvement. Here's your implementation timeline. Day 1, define criteria. Days 2, 3, collect data. Day 4, calculate metrics. Day 5, visualize results. Days 6, 7, plan improvements. So we've reached the final piece of the puzzle, using these metrics to actually improve our processes. This is where the rubber meets the road, folks. The key is to not just calculate these numbers and file them away, but to actively use them to drive decision-making and improvement efforts. Are your DPMO or DPU numbers higher than you'd like? That's a clear signal to investigate your process for potential issues. Is your FTY lower than expected? Time to look at why units are requiring rework and how to prevent it. Remember, these metrics are tools, and like any tool, their real value comes from how we use them. And there you have it, quality enthusiasts. We've unraveled the mysteries of DPMO, DPU, and FTY. Remember, these aren't just numbers, they're powerful tools for understanding and improving your processes. So go forth and measure, calculate, and improve. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Quality Excellence channel for more quality content. This is Mayank Agarwal, signing off for action, FTY, low DPMO, and continuous improvement in all you do.